Dave Ramsey Show.
Thanks, Dave. How are you doing today?
I am better than I deserve. How can I help this evening?
Well, the wife and I are retired, and we're thinking about pulling our money out of the stock market and paying off all our debts, but we're worried about the tax repercussions of it.
So how old are you?
I'm 57.
Yeah, there'd be huge repercussions. Government's going to take 10% off the top, and they're going to take another 40%, or another 30 to 40%. How much is in there?
A little over $2 million.
Okay. And so you're panicking, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I certainly understand the fear. It's in good growth stock mutual funds with good track records, I assume?
Yes.
And the $2 million is in 401ks and things that are going to be penalized, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the market has already dropped 30-something% since about this time last year. When will it come back? I don't know. Will it come back? I do know. And I think you're making a huge mistake. And
Okay.
I would try to talk you down off that ledge. At 57 is not the time to do this. At what may be the bottom of the market, I don't know. I'm not calling the bottom. I am not pulling a dime out at 48 years old. And our portfolio rivals yours. So I'm not pulling a dime out. I'm not panicking. And here's why. If you break down the stuff that has happened, other than all the stuff that's been in the news and the subprime stuff, even if you break down the subprime stuff, who has really been absolutely slayed and is laying in the street bleeding? Those would be bankers, bank stocks. If you take the bank stocks out of what has happened to the market, all of a sudden you start saying, gosh, is Microsoft really worth 30% less than it was at this time last year? Is Apple or Walmart really worth, or Home Depot really worth 30% less than it was at this time last year? I can't honestly tell you. I think it is. Do you really think that companies like that they're not unaffected by this stuff going on in the economy, but they're not the ones that are absolutely just have slit their wrists? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I think that's what John McCain was trying to say, and said it very poorly from a political standpoint when he said the fundamentals are sound. Because, he's trying to say, hey, Walmart is probably not going broke, guys. It doesn't hold any subprime mortgages.
Right.
McDonald's is probably serving Big Macs by the billions as I speak. And these companies are still sound. And there are more of those types of companies out there across the fruited plain than there are banks. But 100% of this panic and this crisis is not 100%, but a good 90-something% of it is surrounded around bankers of different ilks, financial companies, in other words. And if they all fold, will everything else fold? Well, they're not all going to fold. But all of these other companies, Microsoft still make computers, even if there's not a Lehman Brothers. And they'll still sell a bunch of them. They didn't pull their advertising. As a matter of fact, it's kind of beefed up right now. And so on. So I would tell you I'm not doing what you're doing, and that's the reason. Does that make any sense?
But do you think I should stay the course then?
That's what I would do. It is what I am doing.
Okay.
If you were 59 or 60 and you had called me a year ago when the market was up and said, Dave, I'm going to pull some of my money out of my 401k without any penalties, and I'm going to pay off my house, I would have told you to do that just because I always tell you to do that.
Right.
But not because of the news of the last week.
All right, then. Well, I want to say we really appreciate your shows and your ministry as well.
Well, I appreciate it. And Robert, I'll tell you this. What I said at the opening of the show tonight still stands. I'm just a little bald-headed guy on the TV. I've shared with you what I know and what I am personally doing, but that is your money and you've worked your whole life for it. So you and your wife pray about it and you get a peace about it. But I'll tell you this. You need to make a decision because of spiritual guidance and because of intellect, not because of fear. And if you choose to pull it out, and you may be right and I may be wrong, then we'll still be friends. But fear is not a fruit of the Spirit. Don't function in it, okay?
All right, then.
Thanks for the call, man.
Thank you.
Open phones at 888-824.